Guy 2004, and I'm here with episode number 3 of the O'Reilly podcast. And tonight I am here with Heel Steven from YouTube and Twitter. What's going on, my friend?
Well, good day for you, man. How you been?
I've been all right. Did did some shopping today. That's about it.
Awesome. To my understanding, this was supposed to begin earlier
Yes.
this evening, and what happened was, well, I fell asleep. What happened was, I've been up since 6 in the morning. I had to do some things with family, and you wake up early as hell, and you only have like a 2 hour sleep.
Yeah, I
That,
hear you.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast without, not having, so much sleep or the hangout, whatever the hell this is called.
my pleasure, man. No problem. It is what it is.
Alright, so I'm going to start with a few things I like to call behind the curtain. Uh, John Cena's angry with Bray Wyatt for giving him a poke in the eye. Have you read about this? That he gave him some poke to the eye at some house show?
To my understanding, he had like some type of injury, right? Like he's swollen, like on the eye, I think it's left or his right eye, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
I mean, things happen, especially like a poke in the eye. I mean, I'm sure this is not his first time that he's been poked in the eye. I mean, if you think about it too, in wrestling, you always see it happen, like a thumb to the eye or anything like that. So I mean, it's whatever to me, really. But if he's upset, I mean, I guess he's upset.
Well, I guess it stems back to, this is what I read, I don't know. You gotta take with a grain of salt what you read on the internet. But apparently he did this back when he was Husky Harris, and it stemmed back from that. When he was more of a, wasn't really well known, I guess he did the same thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But I mean, again, if he's upset, then what can you really do? You know what I mean?
There's nothing you really can do about it,
Absolutely. That's
I just hope he doesn't try to bury him because of it,
I don't
trying
think
to use Cena powers on him or whatever he has behind the scenes, you know what I mean?
I don't think he'll bury him. If you,
You never know.
yeah, but then again, yeah, of course you never know. You just never really know.
You know?
But I mean, if he does get buried, then that would suck, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best promo guys, and he's great in the ring, I think. I mean, he's pretty agile for a big guy.
I think, to be honest with Bray Wyatt, I think people are attracted to the character and the aura that's behind it. His in-ring ability, to me, is still a little green. Don't get me wrong, he had that good, amazing performance at WrestleMania 30. All right, he also, I guess you could say, he had a good performance at a payback in Cena in that last man standing match. But to me, again, the guy's in-ring ability is a little green, and I might get shitted on because I'm saying that, but it's one person's
No,
opinion.
no, no, no. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Bray Wyatt. I get what you're saying with him being green. I think, he has a lot of work to do, and I think if he has the desire to go forward, I think he can, learn and be better, It's all about the desire you have about it, and
Absolutely, absolutely.
what the heck, what else was I gonna ask you about? Kevin Steen, I know you're a big ROH guy. What do you think about him possibly signing with WWE?
I'm happy for the guy. I think it's one of those things, when you work hard in something, you get a high reward. And let's be honest, if you look at Steen's work on the independent scene, you're just amazed by what he's doing. You're just amazed, and now that he's going to WWE, and it's funny because I hear a lot of fans say, "Oh, he's gonna get shitted on, he's gonna get crapped on." Oh, he should stay in Ring of Honor, And at the end of the day, you are entitled to your opinion. But when people say that, it's like, okay, do you have like a crystal ball? You have something that tells you it's gonna happen, or the classic one I also hear as well. Oh, they're gonna put him on NXT. You're gonna get lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? You're gonna be on NXT for 3 to 4 years. I kind of get the feeling that everybody, everyone is upset when they hear that someone goes through NXT. At the end of the day, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you wrestle, doesn't matter who you've been in the ring with or what champion you've been. You go through NXT. That is a must for WWE, and I understand why they do it because they don't want to have another Sin Cara. If you
Right.
know what I'm saying. But I'm happy for the guy. I really am. I'm really happy for the guy. Um, will they have him change his name? Most likely they will. Will he still use the package power driver? I don't think so, man. I mean the power driver. I don't think they'll even let him use it. But then again, Undertaker does the Tombstone power driver, so or I don't see Kevin Steen doing the F Sync, which is his version of the F5. So yeah,
Right.
they're gonna probably limit his moveset a little bit, might tweak it if you will. The ring gear might not be the same. I said this before a while back. Maybe this is just to be funny and shit, but I think I think when Steen goes to the main roster, they might give him the Dean Douglas gimmick. Remember in WWE?
Yeah, the teacher gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, they might give him that. But then again, I'm happy for the guy. At the end of the day, everyone in wrestling, yeah, you can say, because you want to be this, you want to be that. But the main objective is to make money at the end of the day, right?
Right.
Like, look at guys on the roster like Sandow, you can see that every week, yeah, he's getting crapped on. He's imitating Lance Stevenson or, Vanilla Ice or some random
He's a
dancer.
dancer.
Yeah, like all these other random characters. Yes, he may seem shitty. Even when he was Magneto, even when the guy was Magneto, it was shitty. But you realize, yeah, you know what? You can be shit all you want, but the guy's making money,
Exactly.
and that's what it's
Exactly.
all about at the end of the day. So
Well,
I see him doing good things. I see Steen. You know what? If he goes through NXT, fine. Maybe a month. Who knows? Maybe we'll see the reunion of Steen Erico. You just
yeah.
never know.
I mean, my take on it with the whole ROH fans when one of their guys signed with WWE, just from what I've seen, is they get all ticked off about it because they want them to stay in ROH forever so they can go see them and meet them. And that's what they get pissed about. They won't be able to meet Kevin Steen anymore. But how many times can you meet a guy, you know?
I think also because here's the guy that we seen. It's like that song that I hate. Started from the bottom and now we're here. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where look at the guys that were the Ring of Honor World Champion that went to WWE or went even to TNA. You got guys like Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, Nigel McGuinness. Back with the TNA was known as Desmond Wolfe, but could have gone to WWE if his career went a different direction. Samoa Joe, you know what I'm saying? And now you can even add, also, don't forget Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards. I
Right.
think what it is the fact that, these guys, the fans for Ring of Honor, or the independent fans as well, they've seen these guys at their fullest potential. And they know what they can do, they know what they're about, they know their style, and let's be honest, when you go to WWE, you kind of get limited. You kind of get watered down a little bit. Perfect example, Daniel Bryan. You know,
Right.
and in Ring of Honor, is Bryan Danielson, the guy with the American Dragon. Right? And let's be honest, years ago, when the guy was in Ring of Honor, no one ever thought, this guy is going to be a big star in the WWE once he grows his hair out and grows a funny beard and started doing this up in the air. Entertaining, yes. No one thought that, but it happened. And you still hear fans, you know what, I hate this, you should be the American Dragon, but at the end of the day, hey, the guy is the top guy in the company. So who's to say that, maybe they'll give Steen some random funny gimmick that fan may be pissed about, but gets over.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to make everybody happy all the time. That's all the thing is, There's going to be people that like it, and there's going to be people that are going to shit all over it.
Absolutely.
So, you watch TNA this week?
I was doing a battle between TNA and the NBA Finals Game 4.
Okay.
So I did see it, but at the same time I was watching NBA Finals Game 4 of the Heat and the Spurs. I was watching both at the same time.
Well, why don't you tell me what you saw and
I saw bits and bits of it. I saw what Eric Young faced 3 guys.
yeah.
He faced, to my understanding, the stipulation was, okay, if Eric Young beats all 3 guys, he gets to change the stipulation or make the stipulation. That's what I thought at first. All right, okay. And the first match, he loses to Bobby Lashley. I'm like, what the fuck? So you can't make a stipulation now. And then he went on to face Kenny King. He won that match, which kind of, let's be honest, we all knew was going to happen. And then he faced MVP, which to me is like, okay, you're facing this guy on your pay-per-view, the biggest pay-per-view of the summer. Let's be honest. TNA Slammiversary is like their SummerSlam, right?
Well, are they going with that match? I thought MVP was out with a knee injury or something.
No, but mind you though, at the time you didn't hear that.
Right.
You didn't hear that. Oh yeah, they're changing. You didn't hear it. But as of last night, the match was supposed to still happen, right? Remember, it's pre-taped, and they taped like what, 4 or 5 episodes?
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, it's like, okay, so this is your go-home show to Slammiversary, and you have MVP and Eric Young in the ring. Why?
Why would I want to buy it on pay-per-view if you're just going to give it to me for free?
And they're going to end in disqualification.
Yeah.
Like, how is this convincing me? How is this like, come on? And yeah, you know what? Eric Young got to win via DQ. And then he's like, you know what? I'm still standing. I'm more crazier now. And I want to face you inside the cage. Let's be honest now. Let's be honest. The steel cage stipulation over the last couple of years in wrestling have been very hypocritical. The objective of the cage match is it pretty much locks out all the other opponents that are outside the ring.
Correct.
Am I correct with that? Thank you.
Yes.
And over the years, you see people climb up the cage, try to get into the ring. Like, the stipulation is so hypocritical. You might as well make a miniature Hell in a Cell.
Right.
That's my belief.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't be surprised if we see Abyss come from the inside from under the ring. And again, I'm not trying to shit on TNA. Well, people don't understand that. People might assume by listening to this podcast, oh, Heel Steven, you are a TNA hater. You are a TNA basher. I'm not a TNA basher. I'm a wrestling fan.
That's the same thing. They did it during the John Cena and Bray Wyatt steel cage match, didn't they? Didn't the Wyatts get involved?
Yeah, but again, I'm a wrestling fan. But as a wrestling fan, especially one who watches TNA, I'm a realist. There's a lot of people who watch TNA. And you know what? They realize that the company is not in the best shape, but they still want to believe, they still think that there's no problem with the company. They can literally cover the sun with their index finger and think, oh, all the problem with TNA is gone. In reality, it's not. You know what I mean? But again, that's what happened. Also, we had, Willow versus, he had like an in-ring segment with Bram and Magnus, and pretty much, he's not going to be alone. He's going to join him and match with him and Magnus. And he's like, you know what? Knock, knock. Who's there? The Monster Abyss, pretty much. And Abyss comes out, and let's be honest, Abyss has been like a hot potato.
Right.
1 minute he's the heel, 1 minute he's the face, 1 minute he's like, what are you?
Right.
To me, I just feel like Abyss has been humanized. If you get what I mean, he's been humanized.
Yeah, I got what you're saying there.
Like, you think about it, years ago, the Monster Abyss, he was the monster, right? He was a guy in his old wrestling gear, an old mask. The guy never talked.
Right.
He just made screaming noises with holding a chain. And you had James Mitchell doing the talking for him. To me, that was the Monster Abyss.
Right.
Now it's like, yeah, we're just seeing a guy under a mask, pretty much. Like, okay.
I came late to the TNA thing. I started watching probably, I don't know. I think I started watching them when they first were on like Fox Sports Net. So whenever the heck that was.
I started watching them. I think it was 2004, going into 2005.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see any of the when they were on like the weekly pay-per-views or whatever.
I didn't either, but again, it happens. But yeah, that's what happened. Also, you also had this segment with was EC3, Rockstar Spud, and they brought out Brooke Tessmacher, Brooke, however you want to refer to her, right? And pretty much the segment was based off, okay, you know what? They had this whole the ring set up like it was Maury Povich. The
Yes, they
chair.
had. I was gonna say that. Yeah, he was.
They had like the Maury Povich slash Steve Wilkos slash shows that never happened on the shows that never happened on Spike TV. Let's be honest, I don't think there's never been really any type of show like that on Spike TV either. Okay, but
There has.
there hasn't, of course, there hasn't, and they bring out Brooke and they talk about Bully Ray's a fucked up person, a fucked up human being, how he treated her like shit. And listen,
He cheated on you. He blah blah blah. Yeah.
exactly, and you can just tell just by looking at the expression on Brooke, on Spud, and on EC3, this shit had awkward written all over it. Awkward,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
like three guys that you probably don't think will be talking to one another backstage, off screen and shit. Like, yeah, the three of you, we'll put you together. There you go. I mean, I'm sure Spud and EC3 talk backstage, but the fact that they put Brooke in the situation.
Yeah, it just felt weird to me. It was like, what the hell is going on here? What's the purpose of this?
I get it. All right, Brooke was the girlfriend, kayfabe, of Bully Ray. Or Bubba Ray, however you want to refer to him as. However you feel happy referring to him as.
Whatever you want to call him, right?
Back when they were aces and eights.
Right.
Alright? Do I get why they did that? I get it.
And I get that whole part, but what was the purpose? Just to get this was just to get Bully Ray out there, I guess?
I guess there's to get some heat, I guess, but I mean, the crowd, you can just tell did not give a shit. You can tell they did not give a shit about this. But again, it's what happens when you film in a theme park. It's what happens when you film in a theme park and you let people in for free who really aren't wrestling fans. Like, they're just tourists because they come in because...
Does everybody get in there for free, or did some people pay?
You get in for free. I've been to an Impact before in Orlando. You walk around the theme park, hey, you want to come to the wrestling show? And bam, they bring you in. And people say yes because, again, it's hot as shit in Orlando. So people don't want to walk that much, so they'll go into a place where there's a lot, which is air conditioned and cool off for 2 to 3 hours, or 4 hours in this case.
Yeah, my thinking is, like there's probably maybe the front row fans probably are wrestling fans, because they seem to be into it. But the people in the back that they just want being there, sitting there, just sitting there,
I give you that too, but even if you watch some of the shows. All right, and you watch people that are sitting, you can just tell some of them are just dead. Like, okay, I'm standing here, TV camera. And I've seen it before. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not trying to come off like, oh, this guy's a TNA hater, this guy's a TNA basher. Heel Steven, you turned on us. No, I have not. I'm a realist. I'm just telling it like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Telling them that TNA, I almost said WCW there.
I'm not saying they're WCW, but
no, I almost made a mistake. I wasn't trying to say they were WCW.
The direction. If this continues, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really do. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see it die. I don't. But the way they're going right now, I'm giving it only 6 months.
I was just gonna ask you that. How long do you give them?
I mean, I want to say forever. Oh, it's gonna last forever. It'll never die. But that'll be me lying to you right now.
All right, let me ask you this: what do you think? A few things that TNA could do to pull themselves out of the hole that they're currently in.
Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second, all right?
Yep.
Okay, there's a lot of things that TNA can do. Okay, number one, try to come up with your own original storylines. Don't come up with stuff that to fans may seem like, oh, this is WWE written all over it. Let's be honest, TNA has been cast for years the stereotype that, yeah, you know what, we copy everything that WWE does, or we bring in the guys that at one time were on WWE television, and we give them the spotlight, we give them the world title, we give them the main event.
Right.
And if you listen to the AJ Styles, if you listen to the Talk is Jericho podcast with AJ Styles, Styles said it himself. You know, perception is reality. You know, TNA at the time has brought WWE name. They brought in Kurt Angle. They brought in Christian. They brought in, Rob Van Dam.
Right.
And when Angle faced Samoa Joe, remember, Samoa Joe at the time was a killer, undefeated for a while. And in comes Kurt Angle from WWE, and he beats Samoa Joe, who was their own homegrown guy. Yes, you know what? Samoa Joe came from Ring of Honor. But at the time, that was their homegrown guy, a guy that they built, a guy that, they had go over by the fans. And Kurt Angle comes in from WWE and beats him. All right? Another example, when Rob Van Dam beat AJ Styles back in 2010 for the world title in that Impact episode. Again, perception is reality, and
was that when they were on Monday nights?
I think it was Monday night or Thursday night, but one of the two. And it shows again that, hey, you know what? This is, again, these are former WWE names, and you're pretty much telling the fan that these guys are better than your own talent that you have. That's pretty much it. But again, come up with your own shit. Try to get a stereotype of the WWE guys coming to WWE. To TNA. If anything, look at the independent scene. Let's be honest, the independent scene right now is a hot potato. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet right now for any promotion, whether it be WWE or TNA. And give them, you know what? Don't give them a high salary to start off. Give them a small salary. You know what I mean? To build up and build up and build up and build up. All right? Number 2. Well, I'm not going to number it, but in a perfect world, I feel like Dixie Carter needs to go. I'm sorry. The Carter family, you know what? I get it. You want to be in the business, but the business does not want you.
Right.
That's the thing about it. And nothing against Dixie Carter. I don't hate her. I think, she could be a lovely woman. All right? Darling. But at the end of the day, she literally is running her own company into the ground. And again, it's what happens when you don't have the wrestling knowledge, the wrestling experience, if you will. Let me ask you a question. Did you hear any story of Dixie Carter ever working for a promotion backstage, behind the scene, as an agent, as a manager? Or
the first time I heard about Dixie Carter is when I flipped on and saw TNA, and I was
or how even the cook. You don't hear shit like that. And again, I read an article that Jerry Jarrett was interviewed. In that article, he said, "Oh, the first show that Dixie ever saw was the first TNA show she went to back in 02 or 04, whatever it was. That was her first wrestling show she ever saw."
Yeah.
Again, I think at the end of the day, if TNA is going to see any type of success, it's going to be without Dixie Carter. People who know me know, and I even said in my videos, I have zero faith in Dixie Carter.
Okay, so who do you think would come in and take over for Dixie Carter? Who do you think?
Anyone that has the knowledge for the business, someone that is willing to give a shit, and someone that is willing to, make it happen. Who can that be? I don't know right now. I really don't, because you would say Jim Ross, but I don't think Jim Ross wants to go to TNA. And I think that would be a great option, but again, honestly happening. In a perfect world, Jeff Jarrett would come back and just kick her out, and hey, this is my fucking company, get the fuck out of here.
But the only person I could think of, and I don't think he'd ever do it, is Shane McMahon. I don't think he'd ever do it though.
I think they can, but the problem with that is, okay, it's a McMahon buying the TNA, and for fans, I'd be like, oh, see, I told you guys, I told you TNA would be bought by WWE. Remember, that's the IWC logic. You know what I mean?
You gotta think Shane McMahon hasn't been involved with WWE legitimately for since what, 2010?
I think so. Also, live events. Let's be honest. I'm sure you hear it too, just like I do. TNA draws in like 100 to 300 people into a venue for a live event. In a venue that fits over 1,000 or more, whatever the fuck it is, right? And you see the picture, you see guys like Anal Rift, you know what I'm saying, or NoIQ.com, or all the other wrestling websites and all that, post these pictures and shit.
Like
And
that
yeah,
baseball stadium they went to.
exactly.
Why the hell are they going to baseball stadium? That I'm sorry, a baseball stadium doesn't really, to me,
Well,
doesn't really fit. A wrestling ring doesn't fit in it. It doesn't look right to me.
I think what it is, because number one, it's a minor league baseball park. I don't think it's really a stadium. Like when I think of a stadium, I think of Yankee Stadium, or Citi Field, or um, shoot, fucking
Fenway Park.
yeah, you go Fenway Park. That's what I think when I see stadium, or that's what I think of. I don't think of a minor league baseball park as a stadium. I really don't.
Right. No.
And I get it, Maryland, and Maryland is also a wrestling town, has history back in the day. And again, the attendance for that was not great. It was terrible, like 100 or 300 people. And again, it comes down to your people who promote your shit. Promotion, marketing, improve on that shit. But again,
you don't even. I mean, do you ever see TNA commercials ever on just random channels that you might be watching?
No, I think I saw the last time I saw was like years ago when they were coming to Spike TV or Monday Night, one of the two.
I mean, even for a pay-per-view, like WWE puts them on all over I see them on a lot of stations other than USA and
Yeah, exactly.
that I watch.
I think we all do. And the thing was also that, okay, back to this whole thing with live events. If you know also that you know what, you're not drawing the big crowd, you're not drawing any crowd at all, then your best option would be to, cancel live events. Don't do house shows anymore. Don't do them. Just think about this too. You save a lot of money on not doing these.
You there?
Yeah,
Like
I'm here. You see me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I'm testing this new thing out, and But again, I think if that's the case, don't do house shows anymore. Just imagine how much money they'll save, and not doing these house shows anymore. These,
I mean, obviously nobody's going to them, so why the hell have them?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And also, let's be honest, they're gonna stay in the impact zone forever. They're not really leaving, the impact zone. So here's what you do: you don't charge people money to go into these shows. And I'm guarantee you, this is what happens when people say, when they tell you, "Oh, come to a TNA show." People in Florida will go. I guarantee you this. Well, gee, what's TNA? I never heard of that. I know WWE. I know WWE. I never heard of no TNA. I better go in there. It's cold as fuck. It's hot as fuck in here. Shit, I'm about to go in right now. It's hot as fuck over here. My balls are sweating. These motherfuckers got like fucking rashes under their nuts, and that's the worst experience you could ever have. But they bring them in, and this is what they should do. I remember years ago, my parents took me to Florida as a trip. It was every kid's dream, Florida, Disney World, and all that, right? And this was like back in 1997, I think. Or 96, and they took me to Universal Studios, and they took me to the Nickelodeon Studios.
Oh, there you go.
I remember back in the day, the old Nickelodeon Studios, with the real.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Not the one in California, the one in Florida.
In Florida, yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah. Like the good days of Nickelodeon, when they actually had good programming on it.
Yeah, like they had as you walk into the park, you see the huge, big-ass logo, Nickelodeon.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit, I'm here, right? And you go in, whatever, you sit there, you walk into the place, you walk in, and as soon as they walk you in, they put you into this room. and they pretty much, there's a room full of massive TV monitors, right? And out comes this girl, hey, welcome to Nickelodeon Studios, and they give you an introduction of what Nickelodeon is, how long they've been around, and all of that. And they show you tapes, episodes, and all that. Then they get you into like some random show from Nickelodeon Studios, whatever.
Right.
And then you get slimed. But you kind of get the idea, though.
Get slimed.
To these people that go into the impact zone that have no idea what the fuck they're going into for the first time in their lives.
Right.
What you do, you walk them in, you put them into a room, and you tell them what TNA is all about. Welcome to Impact Wrestling. We've been around since 2002. This and that, whatever, right? Or this is what they did in Ring of Honor for World of the World. As you walk in, right, to the Hammerstein Ballroom, as you get into your seat, on your chair, there was a pamphlet. A pamphlet. This is not the actual pamphlet, but it's an example. A pamphlet of what New Japan Pro Wrestling was all about.
Right.
This is what you do. A pamphlet of what TNA is all about. We've been around since 2002, started in Nashville, Tennessee, and the Asylum and this and all that. It gives your fans a little bit of an education of what they're about and what you're about to see. Don't just sit them there and play an episode of Impact but I have with them being lost.
Right. They're like, here's Jeff Hardy. Who the fuck is Jeff Hardy?
No. They'll cheer Jeff Hardy because Jeff Hardy, WWE guy. But
no, I'm not. I'm just saying maybe that some people. Who knows? Some people could be off the friggin' out of country and they pulled him in somehow. I don't know.
I agree.
They're like from Sweden. They're only here for 1 week. They're like, come in and see this show.
Of course, yeah, of course, absolutely. But again, I want to see them succeed. I want to see them do good. But the way they're going right now, at this rate, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just don't know.
Yeah, you just can't bring in. I think there's only been a few guys that they brought over from WWE that actually have worked in TNA and got over with the TNA guys, and that's like Kurt Angle and like Jeff Hardy when he first came over.
I think also Christian Cage.
Christian, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, what else could you ask for right now? And again, I'm sure there's people that may not like what we're saying. That's fine. That's their opinion. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where TNA needs to really get it together. They really do. Like, literally. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Are you in any shape, way, or form, invested in Slammiversary?
To buy it? No.
Like, is it like intriguing you? Excuse me, the car or anything like that? Like, put hand on your chest. Like, is this really like,
No, not really. Honestly, lately I've been watching TNA just because it's been on wrestling on whenever on my DVR it's wrestling,
Exactly, me too. I watch it because it's wrestling on Thursday nights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's also NXT, but I have the network, so I can rewatch it whenever I fucking want to.
Exactly.
But again, I want to see it succeed. I really do. People might think, oh, you don't. You're just bashing. Oh, I'm not bashing TNA. But come on.
Hey, they're entitled to their own opinions, just like we are.
Exactly. Like, their New York show that are happening next couple of weeks. These shows need to they need to be a home run. Each show. This needs to be the best show they ever had.
Have they announced anything for the shows?
Well, it's Destination X on the 26th, and then the 25th, 27th will be tapings. So pretty much they'll be pre-taped, and then they'll air probably sometime in August or whatever it may be. And there you go. But again, to my understanding, the Great Muta will be at Destination X. That should be fun to see. That should be good.
Yeah, I gotta do some research on him. I've been hearing his name a lot lately. I've seen a few of his matches, but I've never,
He's like
when I was watching WCW, he wasn't in WCW when I was watching it,
He's literally Japan's Hulk Hogan almost, to say the least.
You watched New Japan, right? You watched the Japanese wrestling, right?
I don't watch it consistently. I'm gonna be honest. I watch it on occasion, but I'm trying to get into it. The last show that I saw was return to the back to the Yokohama Arena. That's probably one of the only full show that I see in from a full standpoint. You know what I mean? Like the full
Yeah, I
show.
have. I've only watched a little bit of stuff on YouTube, like old matches. You know.
But yeah, I mean, I try to get into it. You know, I'm not trademark 629 and shit. You're gonna name you all the guys and all that and give you a
So
star
when you
rating.
watch it, like I've said, I've never watched a pay-per-view or an iPay-per-view. Is it in Japanese? The commentary?
Yeah, it's in Japanese. Literally, it's all in Japanese.
Okay.
Which I really don't mind. I really don't mind it. It's a different aspect, a different culture, I guess, if you will.
Is there any chance you
No,
can put on like subtitled English?
no, it's iPay-per-view. You get what you get. You
I
get
don't.
what you
I don't know. I'm sorry. You know, I don't understand Japanese, so you know, I could probably think what he's saying, but probably what I think he's saying, he's probably not saying. So.
normally what I do this all the time, whether it be wrestling or even when I watch combat sport like boxing or MMA, I mute. I watch it on mute, so I'm not influenced by commentator. I'm just not influenced by what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's just me, of course. But then again, everyone has their own way of doing things, you know.
You do that all the time?
Depends. If the commentary is that bad,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you. I'm muting this shit and I'm watching it,
Yeah,
without
like
commentary.
the worst commentary I've heard recently is that during that friggin' El Torito and friggin' Hornswoggle match, they were trying to compare this shit to Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I
I
know they
mean,
were trying to get, heat on JBL, but I'm sorry, I don't like that shit. You know?
I mean, I hear what you mean. I hear you.
So back to TNA, so we have Slammiversary, so you're not invested in Slammiversary, I take it?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll watch it. I'll watch it. You know, but again, I don't have any. You know, there's only a couple matches that really intrigue me, like Austin Aries versus Kenny King.
Right.
You have the 5-person ladder match for the X Division title.
Alright, well, let's do like a prediction like here for right now. That's what I was going to do. Alright, so I got my first on my list. We got the Ethan Carter versus Bully Ray Texas Death Match. Who do
Oh
you think
yeah,
wins this match?
I want to say Bully Ray. I really do, but I see that he's gonna finally put Ethan Carter over. So that might happen. You know.
So you know what the Texas Death Rule matches is, right?
Pretty much, it's like an all-holds bar match, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess you get like pretty much like a 40 count to get your ass up, so you got to pretty much. I guess they take a 30-second break in between the 10-second friggin' count out. So you pin the guy, like say Bully Ray pins Ethan Carter. Alright, he pins him 1, 2, 3, knocks him out. The referee gets a. I guess they get a 30-second break, and then the ref starts counting to 10. So I guess you get 40 seconds to get up, technically.
I don't know, to be honest. Remember, this is TNA we're talking about. Sometimes TNA can really change up the stipulations and all. Maybe they'll just do like a one fall to the finish or submission to the finish.
Who knows? TNA's weird like that, you know?
You know, God, I do see Bully putting him over, though. I see it happening.
Yeah, I definitely see somehow Ethan Carter coming out of it on top. And then we had that X Division match you were talking about. The champion, is it still
Sonata.
Sonata?
Yeah, so Saya Sonata, yeah. Saya Sonata.
We have against Tiger Uno,
Igor Uno.
Crazy Steve, Eddie Edwards, and Davey Richards in a ladder match. Who do you see winning this one?
And you're missing Manic. I think Manic's
Oh,
my
Manic. Sorry, yes, Manic. I'm sorry about that.
match. The match I'm looking forward to, but honestly, whatever happened to Ultimate X? Whatever happened to Ultimate X?
I don't know, man.
It's a ladder match. You know, the last time I saw an X Division title match that involved a ladder was Bound for Glory. So, I mean, I would love to see, Davey or Eddie, get the belt, but they're the tag team champions. I don't think TNA would want to have a guy holding 2 belts.
Right.
Especially if they're like low on the card. I'm not trying to insult these guys, but in TNA's perspective, these guys are like lower to mid card guys. So I can see Sonata retaining. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it, to be honest.
Now, isn't Sonata going back to Japan? I heard.
I think he's gonna go back by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. So they don't. I thought it was. I thought it was soon they were gonna have to take the title off him. So you're saying Sonata's gonna retain?
Absolutely, yeah. I see it happen.
Like you said, Eddie Edwards. I really don't see Crazy Steve because I don't think anybody gives two shits about Crazy Steve. And Eddie Edwards and Richards got the tag titles, so I guess Sonata would be the choice to pick.
Of course.
All right. Or yeah, I wonder who's doing the Manic character.
Man, I think it's gonna be T.J. Perkins.
Okay. All right. We have Gail Kim versus Angelina Love for the TNA Knockout Championship.
I'm gonna go with. I want to say Gail Kim, but I don't see her going over. Yeah. I'm gonna go Angelina Love here.
Yeah. So you got Angelina Love. Let's see. I'll just go with Gail Kim. We have. So am I understanding that Samoa Joe will face
Bobby
Lashley, and the winner of that will go on
to the world
main event? Is that right?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So who you got winning this and going on to the main event?
I'm hoping that Joe goes over. I really do. And with that, I say a lot right there. When I say I hope that Joe goes over, and I say hope for a long time.
Yeah. But who? So you're saying, yeah? I don't know. It seems like they're pushing this group between MVP and Lashley and Kenny King. So who knows?
Exactly. That's true.
And then we have Austin Aries versus Kenny King.
That should be another good match. I think that will probably steal the show. If TNA gives them time to steal the show, they do something in the ring. Hopefully, it's not like just like 5-minute or 10-minute thing where they're just doing this and whatever,
Right.
But I want to say Austin Aries, but I would not be upset if Kenny King goes over either. I would not be upset, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not going to be upset. I like Kenny King. I like him. It's not that I don't like Bobby Lashley. I just, I like Kenny King better than Bobby Lashley.
Of course.
Yeah. So, I will pick Kenny. I'm picking Kenny King to go over. Because I don't know. It's hard to choose this one,
Of course.
Yeah. And then we have Bram and Willow and Abyss tagging up against Magnus and Bram.
I want to see Magnus and Bram go over.
You want to see Magnus and Bram go over, huh?
Yep.
I guess I'll go with them as well, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, the logic move will put the young guys over here, and obviously Magnus and Bram are new.
And they just got together, so why would they lose,
Exactly, yeah.
And then what do we have? Anderson versus Cowboy James Storm.
Ooh, that should be a good match. I hope James Storm goes over here. Like literally the last week's episode where Anderson came out dressed as a cowboy and all that, like to me that was just terrible. Like honestly, he proved to me that what's the phrase I'm looking for? John Cena isn't the only face to hate, you know what I'm saying? He proved that theory wrong. You could also hate Anderson.
You're not a big fan of Ken Anderson, huh?
I'm not a fan. I just find it like stupid. Like, yeah, he's imitating a cowboy and that. Like, come on, really?
Yeah, the feud's been kind of dumb. I thought that them getting drunk in the bar was pretty interesting, But
Yeah,
then they just carried on with that, you know. It was funny the first week. The second week, it became kind of, stupid.
no, you find out the guy was drinking fake beer.
Right. I mean, them getting drunk in the bar was funny. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh, of course, absolutely.
you know, am I missing anything other than the title match?
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that it's Joe and Eric versus Eric Young, and I wouldn't mind seeing that over you know Eric Young versus MVP. I think at the end of the day, if that's the case, then have Eric Young go over. But in a perfect world, Austin Aries will be the new champion right now. In a perfect world.
Right. Now, what pay-per-view is it that they get the chance to turn in the X Division title for a championship match?
Destination X.
That's Destination X. They get to do that.
Yeah, they do the option C thing where the guy gets to cash in his X Division title for the world title match.
So you see Sonata doing that eventually.
I mean, it would make sense in a way. I get why they would do it because, again, you rarely see a Japanese guy being the world champion. The last time you saw was in Ring of Honor, where I think it was Takashi Morishima. He was the world champion.
And how long ago was that?
Ooh, back in like 2007, 2008, around there.
Has there ever been one? There's never been one in WWE, I don't.
I mean, I guess you want to say Yokozuna, but Yoko was Samoan, wasn't really Japanese. But if the
Right.
fans died, the guy was.
I mean, legit Japanese. I'm talking.
Not that I know of, no.
Not that I know of either. Yeah. So you're saying so back to the main event. You're saying who wins that one?
I would say the world title match.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can see Eric Young going over, but in the perfect world, I'd have Austin Aries go over.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Austin Aries just for the hell of it. That'd be a pretty good match, Sonata versus Austin Aries. I think they could put together something pretty good.
Again, this is a New York show, and if you're TNA, you gotta swing for the fences on this show, make it a home run.
Yeah, you got to do something out of the box. You got to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And again, to me, these 3 shows in New York are more important than Slammiversary.
Yeah. No disrespect to Eric Young either. I mean, I think he's a hell of a competitor, but I just think character-wise, they've killed the guy over the years, and you just can't. He's not a credible champion.
It's not that. It's the fact. Yeah, you know what? Yes, he could be a fighting champion. Yes, no problem with that. But to see him be the face of the company, you say, oh, what about Daniel Bryan? What about Bryan? But Bryan, the guy's over. But the fans are invested in Daniel Bryan. Fans really aren't that much invested in Eric Young.
Right. Well, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Can you really measure somebody over in TNA right now?
Exactly.
Like in the Impact Zone. How do you... I mean, you just can't. I'm sorry, unless that's a paying crowd that goes there every week and invest their money into it, you're not going to see who's over in TNA, I don't think.
Or also the fact that, again, you give him the belt and you say, oh, but you know what? The guy has a good show on Animal Planet. It's highly rated. He gets good ratings. The guy's a star.
Right.
Eric Young is not a star. I'm sorry. Yes, he can have a successful show on Animal Planet. But does that mean he should be the world champion? Okay. With this logic, okay. Well, if people are gonna go with that logic, okay. 2004, 2005. All right. Johnny Foreplay was in TNA.
Yep.
And he came off of Fear Factor. Did that mean that TNA should have given him the world title?
Right.
I don't think so.
And he was an indie guy, right? He went to the Indies. I've heard about him, I think.
I think so, yeah. But again, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate Eric Young. The problem is he's not a believable world champion. He's not believable.
Yeah.
What I might say makes seem like, oh, you're just hating. You're just a hater. I'm not a hater. It's being realistic.
Like, I mean, I think Eric Young's had a good career. He didn't need the TNA World Titles. They're just some guys that don't need that heavyweight championship, and I just don't think he was one of those guys.
I mean, listen, I get why they gave it to him, okay, because the guy been there for so many years, and when you're in a company for so many years and you work hard, you deserve a reward. I get that. But to do it the way they did it, right after Daniel Bryan won the WWE World Title at WrestleMania 30, and yes, you can say, oh, but Impact is taped, so that was probably taped a while back. Fans don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Fans don't want to hear that.
Right.
So, I mean, honestly, I get why they did it. Shock value. Personally, me, I'm not a fan of shock value. I'm more of a fan of storytelling.
Yeah. Logic storytelling.
I think what they could have done was, okay, here's Eric Young. He's been here since day one. Never won the big one. At the time, Magnus was the world champion. You know what? You've been here for so long. You never won the big one, and you never will. And at Sacrifice, Eric Young won the big one. That's how they should have done it. Or at Slammiversary. Let it be a build. Let it be a build. Let it be a storyline. That's how you do it.
So the pay-per-view app in New York is going to be one of those pay-per-views that they come out with randomly in the month, right?
It's just that one night only thing. It's like on Spay TV.
No, it's on pay-per-view, man.
Nah, it's on the 20 Pro. It's on the Thursday.
Oh, it's on a Thursday. Okay.
Yes,
So they're not taping it on Thursday, are they?
It's going to be live.
Oh, it's going to be live.
I think it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be live.
Yeah.
Would not make sense to have it taped in June and then air it on August or whatever it may be. Would it make sense in my opinion?
No, I wasn't saying that. I was saying that it was going to air sometime in July. That's what I was saying. I didn't know if it was going to be live or what it was going to be. Maybe. I hadn't read about it.
Of course.
So you going to that show? Any of those shows?
I'm trying to get tickets for Destination X. Myself and Knowledge of Wrestling, the guy that does the podcast with me every week.
Yep.
So hopefully the both of us might end up going to that. But who knows, really? I really don't know, because that week is literally my birthday week. So I really don't know what what's going to happen. I don't know.
That's cool. Now, you live right in New York City, or where are you?
I live in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Yeah, so to me, it's like a 30-minute train ride to New York.
Oh, okay. So you're right outside New York, but in Jersey, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Jersey before. My mom worked down there during Katrina, after the storm down there, whatever it was called.
Sandy,
yeah. Yeah, sorry. She worked both storms. She worked for FEMA, so. Yeah. Did you get a lot of damage where you were?
My power went out for like 14 days or 10 days, whatever it was.
I've had that happen to me. Yeah.
No, it came back like on the 6th. It came back like on the 7th day for like a couple of hours, then the power went out again. And then we were out for power for a couple of days, and then the power came back again, and we were good.
Yeah, I've had my power knocked out for a week. It sucks, dude.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But for the first couple days, it's okay. You're like, all right, cool. Get to live how the old people used to live, you know? My ancestors lived. And then after about the 4th day, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Where's my power?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Especially because you don't... Because I freaking, especially you didn't get to take a shower. You're like, come on, I need to take a shower.
Oh, of course, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And if there's nobody else around you, you gotta go freaking rent a hotel room just to take a shower.
Yep.
But, yeah, I remember one time we got our power knocked out one week, and the first night of it was Monday Night Raw. I had to watch it out in my car on my cell phone.
I remember doing that back in the day.
Yeah, it was, dude, I'm watching Raw, and what the hell was that? I don't even know if it's around anymore. What was it, Justin TV or something like that?
Yeah, back
Ever heard of that?
Yeah, they still do it, but now it's more for, like, gaming and all that. It's become like a Twitch, almost.
It's become what now?
Like Twitch, almost. like
I
a
don't know what
Twitch.
that is.
It's pretty much a streaming site for gameplay and all that, pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's what I was watching on. I just remember that I had that app. It's pretty funny. Um, let's see. Hold on, I got a few questions here for you. So,
Shoot.
what do you think about the WWE title match coming up? The ladder match.
Well, it's different. You know, it was bound to happen. Daniel Bryan dropping the belt was bound to happen. Not really surprised. I mean, let's be honest, the Daniel Bryan character got stale,
Yeah.
got bland, and honestly, him having time off now can really benefit him. You know, have him come back 100% and let the fans fall in love once again with the chase of for the title.
See, where they went wrong with Daniel Bryan, I think they should have gave it to him, like, I don't know, the Royal Rumble, and had him go into WrestleMania as a champion.
I think you could do that too, but where's the payoff? The payoff was obviously at WrestleMania 30. You know,
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those guys. I enjoyed WrestleMania. Those two matches with Triple H, or the
exactly.
match with Triple H, and then for the title. That was a great match he had. You know, that
Yep.
friggin' that neck breaker through the table was awesome. I mean,
The,
that might have been the last straw right there. Who knows?
exactly, of course. But again, it's all in the payoff as well. And let's be honest, no one thought that was going to happen. Had everybody on the edge of their seats. You know,
Yeah, I have my reaction video up. I think I recorded it myself and my dad watching, and we had a couple of our neighbors up, and it was pretty cool. We were doing the yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. But who do you think the other three guys will be? Who do you think we'll find out
I
this
did hear,
Monday? Or
I did hear that Bray Wyatt going to join. I did hear also apparently Cena
of
might
course
join.
Cena would be in there. Of course he would be. Why
Yeah,
not?
I think also I don't know. I think they might keep one guy. From what I heard, they might have Daniel Bryan appear at the last minute at the seventh guy, have him retain the title, or get the belt back. But then again, even that would not make sense in my opinion. But
But
again,
why? Why would you do that? You've already friggin'
I think it'll be Swerve. But then again, what can you say? It's WWE for you, and their creative minds, if you will, or their creative way of doing things, if you will, as well.
I don't know. Who
Uh,
knows? You're like you said, it's WWE. Who knows if they're friggin' what they're planning?
of course,
Mm. What is your favorite wrestling DVD that you own?
of all time, um, shoot, you got me there. 'Cause I used to own a lot. Um, right now, which I currently have. Let's see here. Um, this is pretty much, I guess.
There you go. All right. How's
Yes.
that? Is that a shoot interview or whatever?
It's the shoot also with the compilations of his title run as the Ring of Honor World Champion. He
Okay.
pretty much buries Jim Cornette in this.
Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, I've seen some Kevin Steen stuff. I'm honest with you. I'm new to the ROH again. I mean, because I just started getting it, I was able to sign up for something, and I got it for the free TV on online. So I just, I mean, I've heard of ROH and I followed it, on the internet, but I just never was able to get it.
But I normally do. I go on this site called Watch Wrestling. That's something, and you watch all the episodes for free.
Yeah, Watch Wrestling CH. I've been on there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a pretty cool site.
absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. Saves me mad money.
Yeah. So, will you be buying the pay per view this Sunday, or will you be watching the pay per view this Sunday?
I mean, let's be honest here. It's worth like what, $40. It's Father's Day too, so come on, you
Yeah,
know. So I
exactly.
don't see me buying it. I'll watch it. but I'm not sure if I'm gonna really buy it. You know, I find it funny too. Like, there's people who complain about it, but remember this: you didn't pay for it. That's why the
Right.
fuck are you complaining about it? You know what I
Right.
mean? You didn't pay for it.
Why pay them money? They don't give a shit about us. Why pay them?
Not even that. It's like, bro, it's Father's Day. It's recession time. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. Um. What's your favorite TV show that you watch other than Monday Night Raw or wrestling?
Yeah, The Ultimate Fighter. What else? Believe it or not, Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef.
There you go. I don't watch either one of those shows. They're pretty good, are they?
It's very entertaining, very funny. Seeing Gordon Ramsay just yell at people. I'll say this: I think Chef Gordon Ramsay could do a better job running TNA than Dixie Carter ever could. I guarantee you, give that guy 2 weeks or a month, and he'll have that company back in fighting shape. I guarantee you it. That guy can fix anything.
I've never watched him before.
You never heard of Gordon Ramsay? The guy that
I've heard of him. I've just never watched him.
Just YouTube him. Just the guy that's crazy. The way he screamed at people on Hell's Kitchen and shit. It's crazy.
Is that still on? That show?
Yeah.
How many seasons that been in?
Excuse me. I believe it was 12 already. 12 seasons.
Holy shit. Yeah, they pump those shows out like freaking crazy now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I'm gonna finish up here with a thing I like to call word association. I name off a few people and you just say what you think about them as wrestlers.
Okay.
Alright? Alright. Rowdy Piper.
Rowdy Piper. Notorious. Notorious.
Notorious. Nice. Kevin Steen.
Out there.
Out there.
That's two words. That's two words, right?
You can say whatever you... It doesn't have to be one word. No, I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want about them. Whatever you think about them.
The guy is out there. At the same time, it benefits him. It makes him creative in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, a big guy like him. Think about it, the guy can go an hour in the ring if you want. He can go an hour, and he's done it before. Oh yeah.
Alright, what match would you suggest I watch to see Kevin Steen's talent?
I already just watched all his title runs. The other match they had his champion. Watch I would say watch Best in the World 2012. Literally, if you want, you go on watchwrestling.ch, right?
Yeah.
You have the DVD. You
Yeah.
can watch online.
I can?
Yeah, you can. You can watch even the extra stuff on the DVD, all the matches that he had when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, or matches with leading up to him being the champion. You can watch as well.
I've seen some of the El Generico stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Those were pretty good, yeah. They seem to have a pretty good feud together.
Of course.
Let's see who else I got here. Goldberg.
He was amazing in WCW.
Yeah.
I'll say he was undefeated and all that. He won the world title and all that. When he came to WWE, it just seemed like the guy never gave a shit.
Yeah, just... The only time I think he gave a shit was when he was going up against The Rock.
I mean, even that, you could just tell he just didn't give a shit either. Honestly, I just felt he was there to just collect a paycheck and just leave.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all about the money. Now he has a podcast, I guess.
And then I know that. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. He hasn't had any wrestlers on there. I've been trying to check it out, but he's only had, his... I think he's trying to get people that aren't wrestling fans to listen to him, I guess. Is what he's trying to do.
Understandable. Be different, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I listen to a lot of podcasts myself. You listen to a few podcasts, do you?
See here, Solo Monster Sound Off, and believe it or not, Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay. I meant any wrestling ones.
Oh, the Solo Monster Sound Off, probably the one I listen to right now, or Talk is Jericho,
Yeah.
or I try go. I'm about to start watching more Steve Austin's podcast as well.
Oh yeah, Steve Austin. I listen to Steve Austin. I listen to all of them. I listen to Jim Ross. You know, all the guys that are on podcasts. I don't
Yeah,
listen to Roddy Piper just because I don't know. His is kind of. I know he's trying to be different than everybody else, but sometimes he has. And sometimes he has guys on there that like wrestling, but sometimes he doesn't.
I mean, you gotta realize too now, doing podcasts is like the new trend nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is why also, I do a weekly podcast as well every week, and it might get moved to Podbean, it's being talked in discussion
Right.
that the podcast might get moved to Podbean.com.
Yeah.
So hopefully it all works out, but who knows really, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. I think my next one is a very controversial figure in pro wrestling history.
Oh. Is he a guy that he won the title at WrestleMania 20? He apparently he was in some triple threat match, and apparently
No, he was not them.
he was on a DVD. He was on
But okay, now that you go there, I will skip my first person. Chris Benoit.
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Chris Benoit?
I never heard of
man,
that.
he was.
I mean, I've heard of. I heard his name on the network. You can't search him on the network.
Oh, okay.
Matches are there. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're referring to a guy that he was at WrestleMania 20. It was a triple threat
He
match.
made Triple H tap out at WrestleMania 20.
I thought that was Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. I know.
I know. I'm just. Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the guy. Listen, he's part of wrestling history. As much as WWE wants to, erase it from our memory, which I understand why they're doing it. I get it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
But it's like saying, "Oh, OJ didn't do it, but he did it." You know what I'm saying? It's like saying that, because I've seen people on YouTube try to defend, "Oh, either Benoit this, Benoit that." I'm not gonna drop any names, but at the end of the day, he did it. He killed his wife, he killed his kids.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great wrestler, but unfortunately, like a lot of people have said, it's been said before, the last 72 hours of his life, erased all the good that he did for wrestling in a lot of people's eyes.
Exactly.
I
did hear that he apparently juiced his kid, who was like, apparently I heard also that he would inject steroids on his kid who was handicapped. That he juiced him. I did hear that.
I think that was blown out of proportion. I think that was more. I heard that too, but then I also heard that was prescribed to his child.
I don't know. I don't really know.
I've heard both ways. I heard that as well, so I don't know. You never know what to believe when there's a big murder, high case murder. So much shit gets thrown out there in those circumstances. You never know what to believe.
Of course.
All right, now another controversial character in the world of pro wrestling.
Is this guy? Is he from Chicago? Is he like some long time WWE champion? And I think he's now being known as BQITW, the best quitter in the world.
The best what?
Best quitter in the world.
Okay.
Was it him?
Yes, CM Punk.
Never heard of him.
Heard of him.
I know Phil Brooks. I know Phil Brooks.
Yes, Phil Brooks. Yes.
I know Phil Brooks. He was the crybaby, the whiner. I wasn't booked right, and I made it in WrestleMania. I didn't want to work for WrestleMania 30 with Triple H. I made a DVD where I said that, I gotta change the business. I'm not gonna do it by sitting on my couch in Chicago.
Hold on a minute. You mean this DVD right here?
Well, you're missing the Q. Well, you're missing the Q after the bet. You're missing the word quitter after the word best.
You mean this 3-disc DVD set that doesn't exist anymore?
I don't know. I mean, it's still on WWE shop for
Hey,
like
I have it right here in my hand, so it must exist. Unless
12.90.
I,
Right.
unless I have the ability to see things that are not here.
I know. I
And
know. Like honest. Okay. On a serious note, yeah, CM Punk, great wrestler. I'll never take that away from him. But I just feel like the guy complained too much. You know what I'm saying? Like from what I heard, the guy was like a dick in real life. The guy was a dick.
oh yeah, I've heard so many stories about I get these fans. I hate these fans that bitch and complain. All right, this is one of CM Punk's biggest complaints. I don't like these fans that stalk these guys. All right, if you go to a restaurant where they are, all right. This is what I used to do. I accidentally found out one night where they went. I went to that place. I didn't think they were all going to be there. I strolled in there and I saw a whole shitload of wrestlers. On the top of my head, it was Bubba Ray, the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon. That was pretty cool. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Sable was in there, I believe.
They're in WWE. Like they're all in WWE.
Yeah, they were all WB guys, yeah. I want to say the Big Show was in there, too. Um, yeah, well, whatever. But his one complaint was people like that wait out in the freaking airports for these guys. Those are the people that I hate. That stalk these people, like celebrities. Like, yes, they are celebrities, but they're like jam a camera in their face at 5 in the morning, like he said on his pipe bomb. They jam or whatever. Jam a camera in my face at 5 in the morning, want an autograph, and then you sell that on eBay.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end of the day, as well, you know, I remember that this was during my senior year of high school, my senior year, right? Of high
Yep.
school, my senior year, and I went to a party, right? And I was trashed. I literally got trashed, right?
Yep.
Just drunk out of my mind, right? And we
Yep.
go to a diner, right? By my,
Yep.
like literally 15, like literally 5 minutes from my house. Went to a diner, 5 minutes from my house, right?
Right.
And I'm going to the bathroom, and who do I see? I see Albert and Rhino, and I passed by them, and I'm just sitting there in the bath. I'm like, wait a minute, was that Rhino and Albert? I'm like, oh, but I wanted to say something like, but they're eating. I didn't want to be all rude and fucked up and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, so see, this is what I did. All right, I ate my food and I ignored them for the whole time they were there. I played it cool. And then when I knew they were all done, I went up to them and I was like, you know, big fans of yours, blah blah blah, and they appreciated that. So they were appreciative to me and they signed whatever the hell I wanted to sign, and I got the hell out of there. I didn't bother them. I didn't want to be like, oh, we're best buds now.
No, hell no. I
you
get,
know.
yeah, I get what you mean. Though. I get what you mean.
That's cool. So were they in the bathroom, or they were coming out, or you were
No,
going
no, no.
in?
I was going to the bathroom. And I saw them sitting there eating their food.
Okay.
I didn't know who they were until I got into the bathroom. Like, oh, wait a minute, Albert, Rhino.
Those are pretty two guys that you probably you know those are pretty two guys that you probably would be pretty shocked to see, I guess.
Yeah, apparently there was a show. There was a show somewhere in Jersey. There was a show, and they were there. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't disturb them. Like they're eating. So all right, I'm just walk, just keep it cool.
Right.
They're eating, and yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I
You
saw
keep
them.
it cool, they're cool with you, I think. If you keep it cool, they're cool with you,
I actually, I just passed by them like whatever, didn't say nothing, just keep it going.
I think I also met... That might have been the night I met Shane McMahon out in the parking lot. That was pretty cool. Back to my list. my next guy, I will give you a hint. Knock knock.
Abyss.
No, knock knock.
Who's there?
Mike.
Oh, Brock Lesnar. Oh, gosh darn
No,
it.
no, no. Just go with
Oh,
it.
oh, Paul Heyman.
Yes. Paul Heyman.
Legend. Legend. One of the best mindsets for the business. It's a shame that TNA never managed to pick him up when they had the chance.
Yeah, why didn't they? What dumbasses?
Apparently, Apparently, Paul's mindset was, all right, promote the youth, and Dixie Carter did not want to do that.
Promote the youth? That's what he said?
As in, like, get rid of the legend, get rid of Scott Steiner, get rid of, all these old guys that were there at the company at the time.
Now, when was this that he was thinking about going there? I remember hearing about it, but I just don't remember when it was.
I think it was like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah,
get rid of Scott Steiner. I never liked him. No, well, I did like him. I liked him before he friggin'
went nuts.
started juicing.
Pretty much.
But back to Paul Heyman, yeah. Legend. I mean, he's, brought the gimmick around. He had that big honky phone back in WCW, and then now he's on the iPhone. Brought it full circle.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I mean, Paul Heyman is awesome, Great manager, great, like you said, great wrestling mind. Definitely sure ballot, first, ballot Hall of Famer. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Who knows if WWE will ever put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, they got a DVD coming in for him real soon, so that should be fun.
Who would you think would put him in the Hall of Fame?
I would say some ECW guys. The question who, though? I would say either have Rob Van Dam,
They could get Taz if he wasn't working for TNA at the time.
And the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, the Dudley Boys. That'd be a pretty good group. RVD, Taz, and
Dudley Boys. Yeah, all induct Paul Heyman. Or even Brock. Even Brock can induct him.
Yeah, but do you really want to hear Brock Lesnar talk?
Hey, why not? Should be fun.
Yeah.
We heard Mr. T talk for like 30 minutes talking about his mama. So why not, right?
Oh my God, that was horrible. That was atrocious.
It was.
I mean, I don't think anybody liked that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, Warriors was okay, but man, that sucks that he's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I honestly really wasn't a big fan of the Ultimate Warrior. He just wasn't. I was a Hogan guy all through and through when I was a kid,
Yep.
So, but I don't want to see anybody die, especially at that age. But I just thought there was something amiss about him. I was saying, I even said it to my dad. I'm like, dude, he doesn't look right at the Hall of Fame. Like, he was sweating profusely, and
it happens.
Then on Monday night, he even looked worse on Monday night, I thought.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But, my last guy, and then I will let you go for the night, because I know you're tired, man, and I'm pretty tired myself, is man. AJ Styles. There you go.
He actually signed it for me at World of the World.
That's awesome.
Now, highly underrated. I think you can easily put him in your top 10 for best wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. I think the guy is phenomenal. I think, phenomenal is the best word to describe him. If you watch him in person, it's amazing. The best feeling you'll ever see or have is seeing him wrestle live. I think, again, he's talented. It's a shame that he was never able to work things out with TNA. But again, TNA's loss is Ring of Honor's gain. So it seems like.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's ever going to go back to TNA.
I mean, never say never. That's the funny thing about this business. Never say never. But I do feel that.
Personally, from what I heard on the podcast with Jericho, I think the guy I think the guy has a better shot of going to WWE or wanting to go to WWE before he would ever take a contract from TNA again.
I think at the end of the day, TNA will always be his home. Like, think
Well,
about
yeah.
this. If you ask, if when you think of TNA, you always think of AJ. That's the first guy that pops into your mind.
Right.
Let's put it this way: AJ Styles does not need TNA. TNA needs AJ Styles.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right, but again, what can you really do?
Now what is the Bullet Club all about? I've been, I watched the Japan show. What's it all about? It just looks like I hate to say it.
It's like a Japanese version of the NWO, pretty much. It's like their version of the NWO.
Now, have you seen any of the Japanese stuff? What they're doing over there?
I mean, they just did this Super Junior tournament, like all the high flyer guys, and Ricochet won the tournament, so that's cool. They're gonna have their next show, I think, is Dominion, and they're leading up to the G1 Climax, like a 9-day tournament.
Oh, I think I've heard about that. I think I've heard about it on one of the free shows on whatever the hell that. What is the one Dave Meltzer's on? Whatever.
Wrestling Observer, the Observer Radio.
Wrestling Observer, yeah. Yeah, AJ Styles, great competitor. He was one of the guys when I turned on TNA. I always gravitated towards him.
Yeah, he's literally their version. He was TNA's John Cena. He was their version of Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And TNA dropped the ball. Right now, I'll be honest with you. I am right now on a 2-strike thing with TNA. 2 strikes. Well, it's like a 3 strikes and you're out type of thing. Strike 1 was Victory Road 2011, where Jeff Hardy wrestled under the influence. Strike 2 was them letting go of AJ Styles. To me, that was strike 2. And now, if they fuck up again, big time, then I'm done. Pretty much.
All right. What would you say that now that you bring up that point? What would you say would be that? What do you think would be the straw that broke your back, as they say?
If they managed to lose Austin Aries and Samoa Joe, that would to me be it. But then again, I don't know either. I don't know. I mean, I'm possibly going to the New York show if I have a bad experience there, which hopefully I don't.
Right.
But if it's a bad experience, then fuck, I'm done. Strike 3. You never know. Like, honestly, a strike 3 can happen at any moment. You know what I mean? When you least expect it.
Yeah. The thing that's been ticking me off lately is I'm just not enjoying this MVP thing.
I think no one is. I mean, if you are great, it's you. But the thing is with MVP, the fact that, again, it's a guy who's... The reality is the guy is a former WWE guy. You know what I mean? People go say, oh, but you know what? He was never the world champion. That's fine, but at the end of the day, he's a guy who came from WWE. Do you think actual, hardcore, casual fans give a shit that he was a former IWGP Intercontinental Champion? I don't think they would care. No. Yes, he wrestled in New Japan for a while after being out of WWE, but fans don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
Only the people that watch New Japan. I'm sorry, I don't watch New Japan. I don't have access to it.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a hardcore fan and you watch all of them, yeah, I guess. But still, even that, I mean, it's TNA once again giving their MVP's no longer not gonna wrestle the match, but giving their spotlight to the main event of the biggest show of the summer to a former WWE guy. And again, perception is reality.
Right. Well, I think that's all I have for you tonight, man.
Okay, man.
It was good talking with you.
Pleasure, man. A pleasure.
Yeah. All right. I hope you have a good evening.
You too, man. Have a good night, man.
You too.